Hi, guys.
Hello.
Welcome to Etta, Arlene Spiritcast. If you're new to this podcast, we talk about all things related to mindfulness, magic, astrology, tarot, Reiki, meditation, anything in that realm. Today's episode's a short episode. We're just going to chat. We don't have strict plans for the episode because this week's been kind of hectic. But yeah, that's where we're at today. We're probably going to talk a little bit about a Witchy Potluck we went to. And then we have a cool thing to tell you about July 15th. There's this really cool event, but we'll go into details about that. And yeah, so before we get into the episode, do you want to tell them where they can find us at?
So you can follow us over on Twitter at edpro_pgh. We tweet a lot. You can follow us on Instagram, Tumblr, Pinterest, TikTok, Facebook, at Arlene. And you can go follow us over on YouTube where we post Reiki-infused videos almost every single day. And go like and subscribe and get the juice. And you can go to our website, edarlene.com, sign up for our email list, and receive a free Reiki session almost every single month.
Yeah, sounds good. So I'm just going to let the ads play since this is a shorter episode.
Yeah,
so
let's get it. Okay, guys, this is an ad. We believe in supporting small business. And today, we're talking about the small business called Garage Cats.
They make 100% organic handmade lip balm using hemp and cocoa butter. It smells amazing. It lasts for a very long time. They use eco-friendly paper tubes. They're pretty much awesome. If you are interested in supporting this business, you can find the link below or go to garagecats.etsy.com. We just want to take a quick moment to invite everyone listening to check out our shop at edarlene.com. If you like what we do, it is one of the easiest ways to support us. Plus, you will get our awesome handcrafted 100% vegan soy candles, our prints, books, oracle cards, and book a Reiki session. All of this can be found at edarlene.com and linked in the show notes. All right, we're back. So, yes, it's been really crazy. We do want to talk about, give a little shout out to Arts and Craft Botanica in Pittsburgh. If you're in Pittsburgh, it's another really awesome magic shop, and it's located on Penn Avenue.
Penn Avenue in, is it Garfield or Friendship?
Or Lawrenceville.
It bleeds from Bloomfield. It's like that hub, that area.
East End. If you're in Pittsburgh, you get the vibe. It's the girls that run it are
so nice.
Very nice.
Very knowledgeable. Once again, very cool people. So we highly, highly, highly recommend go check that store out.
Yes, we
you can order online too.
Yeah, I believe their website.
Omanita told me that's the one she usually goes to. So that was really cool.
We could link them down below if you want to check out their website. And we're talking about them because they recently hosted this magical thing in Pittsburgh that we've been participating in. And our guests earlier in the episode, or early in this season 3, Jess and Patrick, check out those episodes if you haven't listened to them yet. So Patrick's episode is about Druidism and the Morgan, and Jess's is about a wide variety of topics. We talk about folk magic, but she's a Lokian, so we talk about Loki and then some other spirits. Anyways, they hosted the last potluck, and what it is a bunch of metaphysical, witchy, just practitioners from all different paths. They kind of come together and hang out. We're not doing any ritual or anything like that, but you'll see people doing divination, and you get a room full of witches.
You get a room full of mystics, there's going to be some magic.
Some razzle-dazzle.
Something. You're definitely able to get a reading from anybody there.
Oh, yeah. There was this one moment. So this potluck was held at the Arts and Craft Botanica.
Yeah.
This time. And the one owner, her name is Amber, and she stunned me. We were actually laughing about it. So I'm standing and I'm talking, and as you guys know, I have fake hips, and because they're fake, I don't sometimes realize I don't have the pain I had before. So if I'm just hanging out, I won't realize my muscles are tired since the surgeries were kind of new. Anyways, my legs were stiff and I hadn't realized it because I hadn't walked yet. And so Arlene's like, "Hey, do you want to sit down?" I'm like, "No, I'm good." And then Amber looks over at me, and I like move and I'm like, oh my goodness, my like leg hurts. But I didn't make a face or anything. This is all like mental. And then she's like, hey, there's a chair right here. You should take it. Like, you should really take it. And she has no idea about the hip surgeries or anything like that. And I'm like, how does she know? And then I sat down and I'm like, oh yeah, because I'm around a bunch of like mystical people. And I told her that, and she started laughing. She says, yeah, that happens all the time. So yeah, there are a lot of like really good people, a lot of really kind people around Pittsburgh, and we've been trying to engage more with the community around here. I noticed. Speaking of that, we are gonna have Thomas Mooneygle back on the podcast, and we're talking about maybe having another episode with the menagerie and Thomas Mooneygle, depending on everybody's like schedules. And the reason why is because Thomas is actually going to be hosting a 6-hour workshop here, and it's journeying, like shamanic journeying. And I don't have the full details yet because it's in the works still. They confirmed
the date is confirmed, but we'll have more information later.
Yeah, they're still work. But anyways, if you are in the Pittsburgh area July 15th and you want to meet Thomas Mooneygle,
hang out with us at the menagerie, unless they want to do it in the woods. They said it's also weather dependent. Yeah, check it out. We'll keep you guys posted. Like I said, we're going to have Thomas on to talk about it and go into more detail, and then probably closer to the event we'll have the menagerie back on. Yeah, and I don't know how many seats he's going to allow. I know it's a minimum of 6, but I don't know what the max number is yet. Yeah.
So this might be one of those things that you like want to act on sooner than later. Yeah, so that's the exciting news.
Yeah, we're really excited. We're really, really, really grateful. I know we say this all the time, like in the podcast, but we're really grateful for everybody that we get to connect with. And this podcast in general has helped us to connect with a lot of really cool people. Like the menagerie.
Yeah, and speaking of connecting, okay,
mm-hmm.
I just realized, both of us are going 1,000,000 miles a minute.
I feel like it because of Hermes.
It's Hermes.
It's Hermes energy. Like, I feel like I drank a lot of coffee. I don't drink coffee. Yeah. I can't. I'm not supposed to at all. Like, I feel like I drank a Red Bull or something, and I'm like juiced up. And like, for context, like, I did not sleep well at all. Like last night or for a couple of days. Like, it's been, full moon, whatever. And I feel energized. So I'm excited for this new journey I'm about to step into.
So today's been kind of a journey in its
own right.
Yeah.
And like, we knew we were going to record. So I knew I was going to have to, meet up, and we're going to have our meetings like that and record episodes and, that all. But I decided to go to the gym first, and I was just going to do like a quick session. And mind you, like, the hour I usually go is usually not crazy for cardio. It's usually like the muscle people. And I'm on an empty row of machines. Empty. Completely empty. And these two ladies just decide. And they're not even together, separate. So the first woman came first, like 10 minutes before the other lady. And she was on machine, only one machine away from me. And this other woman gets on the machine right next to me. When I only had like 10 minutes left of my like cardio session for that moment. So I was like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna get off and not crowd these ladies. And I go to do my normal routine for Thursday. And the machines I usually use were miraculously taken. So then I was only able to do like a really short workout today. I call Etta, because I'm supposed to come over and just record. And she's like, oh, wait, great. You can do the Hermes meditation with me. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I don't care. Sure.
So I've been doing for context, I don't know if any of you have done devotionals or anything like that, but I'm doing this 9-day thing with Hermes specifically. Yeah. So she came right in the middle of that, right when I was getting ready to do the meditation. But go ahead.
Yeah. So this is proof of timing. I can't stress that enough. This is the God of timing, yeah. But it's just proof of timing. And so I come here and I do the meditation, because why not? And I get juiced up by Hermes. And now I'm on a totally different trajectory.
Well, I gave you a reading as well.
You gave me a reading also, but in the meditation, I decide, I usually do, if I'm connecting with energies, I will ask questions, ask for things and assistance. And I literally rapid fired at Hermes. And I got every single answer immediately. Immediately. In the reading we did right after.
Yeah.
Totally freaked out. Excited.
Yeah.
So now I'm on a whole new trajectory.
She's like really like happy with his energy, and yeah, now
It's like
you're about to do the
magic of the universe never ceases to amaze me, but somehow it ups it up every time. Like every time it gets more and more extreme.
Yeah, and it's funny. I love how like after you connected with his energy, you just like knew like I gotta go down this path right now.
The things that are meant for you find you effortlessly and easily. There is no resistance. There is no forcing. The things that are meant for you, you know.
Yeah.
And that's everything in life, not just metaphysical. It's everything. So that, yeah, I'm trusting my intuition and running with it. I feel phenomenal.
Is that a pun intended?
Pun intended. Pun intended. And you mentioned every episode, I was like, new cycle. Yeah. Yes. New cycle. New energy.
Yeah. He's great. I mean,
life is a lot funner when you embrace the magic of the universe. Yeah. When you decide to say, fuck it, and follow your bliss, life is a lot more enjoyable. And think about that. I don't know who need to hear that. Think about that. And start making it, even if you can't change certain things in your life right now, there's still things you can do every day to add a little bit more joy to your life.
Yeah.
For me, it's connecting with higher energies.
That's
HTVs.
Yeah, high dimensional beings. They are awesome. I mean,
I'm just saying, like, and that's been something that's been this cycle. And Sky's standing on my back right now.
It's my cat.
It's, yeah. They know. They listen to podcasts.
My baby.
You don't have to stay stuck in cycles. You can break them. That's it.
Okay.
I could go on this I can talk for 10 minutes about cycles.
Cycles?
Cycles and breaking cycles
I wonder
and
if
change.
Hermes gonna like rapid fire some of these cycles for you.
That's fine with me. Yeah. That's fine with me. The reading was beautiful. It was beautiful. Demeter stepped forward, and that was a beautiful message that I received from her. And that like really resonated with my soul because it's been the energy I've been sitting in. And like the feeling, like, you trust yourself. You can understand when there's time for change to occur. And that's been where I'm at. And I'm really excited to see what comes next. Extremely excited. Like, we have stuff happening, but I'm excited for the journey.
Yeah. I mean,
I feel good. I feel good. I feel amazing. I wonder if Hermes' energy is going to infiltrate this episode and get juiced up too.
Because we're talking about him. And maybe he will. Yeah, Hermes.
I saw a quote somewhere. I don't remember who said it. But it was saying how funny it is that it's easier for you to believe in fear and lack than it is for you to believe in good. Mm-hmm. And that's something people need to reignite their souls with. So,
her reading was mentioned. There's this... I do like Greek divination, by the way. It's like a form...
It's like one of your specialties?
Yeah, and...
Fortes?
Yeah, there's a... I don't think we ever talk about, like, my, like, magic.
We don't have to talk about everything. And honestly, I like to keep some stuff private.
Clearly, I talk about Apollo, and he's the god of Oracle, mm-hmm. And so I'm studying this, like, Greek divination system. And there's this one that represents a message about moving through life with joy and confidence. And it's one of the, at least one of the maxims that the Oracle, would have said. But basically the lesson from it is that instead of moving through life operating out of fear and anxiety and stress, like all your choices being that way, it poses the question, why, like, what would happen if I moved with joy and confidence? What type of decisions would I make if I made them through a lens of joy instead of a lens of fear that we're socially conditioned to operate out of? And it's exactly what you said. Like, why is it that it's easier to believe that things will go wrong, will be bad, to move like, oh, I have to do this because this bad thing will happen, even down to like visualizing. Like, it's easier to visualize worst case scenario than it is to visualize best case scenario, but both are equally plausible. it's just your faith and your belief in said thing. Like, you believe that it's more realistic for you to have the worst case scenario than the best case scenario. And that's where we all get, like, trapped up. And so this oracle's talking about how, like, what it's asking you, it's saying, like, it commands you. That's what it says in the Zeus commands you.
It commands you to reflect.
To operate, to just try moving from joy and confidence and going in. You might not be sure that said thing will happen or won't happen, but going in and being like, yeah, I'm going to be confident that whatever happens is going to be awesome no matter what. And just seeing what happens. And I feel like usually it's going to be better than worse because at least you're not like expecting doom and gloom, and at least you're having fun in the process. And that was another part of it. It talks about like the idea of, so if the end result's still going to be whatever it is, like why do you have to suffer the whole way through? Like, at least like you had fun in the process.
Yes. And what if things turn out better than you expect them to?
Yeah,
what
exactly.
They do. So instead of worrying about what could go wrong, focus on what can go right, and just make decisions and let things happen.
Yeah, I mean, think about, I don't know, this is a cool example. Let's say you were thinking about starting a business and it's something you really like and something you're passionate about. Instead of worrying about it failing, just think it's going to work, and then have fun doing your business while you do it. And then if it doesn't turn out the way you want, at least you can say you were having a ball the entire time.
Because things that don't work out are pushing us into another trajectory.
Yeah, like legit.
Like, I can't stress that enough. I can't.
Yeah, like not everything's meant
to work out the way we think it is, because we're projecting to a different, not projecting, we are shifting into a different trajectory. There's something else better. So instead of thinking something else worse coming, think something else better is coming. And that is what will manifest into your reality.
Yeah.
Have fun in this life, please.
So
for the love of God.
Like, they command you.
Even if, like, you know, everybody feels down sometimes and everybody feels stuck sometimes. But what if in those moments that, you know, 2 years' time, you shift your focus slightly and start adding things to bring joy?
Yeah.
Work on yourself. I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking myself.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying, like, okay, let's say, like, okay, instead of stressing, it's like, oh, easier said than done, of course. About, like, let's say finances, okay, like, evaluate, like, okay, you're taken care of to an extent where you're at. Usually we're worrying about, like, am I going to have enough for blah, blah, blah. But, like, can't we have fun, though? Can you, like, just have fun and move with joy and optimism in the process? Like, if things are going to be a certain way regardless, would you rather, like, have fun and enjoy and, like, and then be open to possibilities to come in, as opposed to just giving up and then not living this once in a lifetime? You know what I mean? This is the life you have right now. And so, sometimes we have to do some self-reflection, and we all go to the darkness. I went to the darkness a couple days ago, but that was a part of
I swim.
You swim Hermes.
Not like, we have these moments of darkness for a reason. Everything that we go through, to a certain extent, is for a reason, and it's pushing us in another direction.
Yeah.
And forcing us to deal with stuff. Because we don't realize how much stuff we've carried that become our identity, that are all projections or rejections, whatever.
You just decided this is what you are because you're suffering.
Because you're suffering, or you just lose yourself.
Yeah, and you can't see what's
like, what happens if you decide to take time to allow yourself to just be? Mm-hmm. Just exist. Make it a goal just to exist.
Yeah, and who cares about what other people
Who cares?
Yeah.
Do whatever. You work your jobs and do, handle your obligations, but add a little bit of fun into your life.
Yeah, it's just what I guess what we're trying to say is, like, you can change those moments where you're operating from an energy that's not helpful. And then the question is, like, what happens if I, instead of visualizing worst case scenario or, going back and shoulda, coulda, woulda, what if you just acted with confidence and joy that the best thing would happen and daydreamed about good things, regardless of your current situation, regardless of everything. And like I said earlier, I know people always roll their eyes and go, it's easier said than done, but it's...
Or toxic positivity.
Yeah, but it's not that. It's not saying ignore it. We'll be the first people to say you have to journey to the underworld. I'm saying that you have to also have control of what you want to an extent and how you want to like live your life. And a lot of the stuff around is just outside of you that is making you think that this is what is real. And it might not be the case.
Or what your limits are.
Or what your limits are, what you can or can't do. There are plenty of people, successful people, who didn't care what anybody thought. I could argue a lot of successful people said fuck
I would say
everybody.
every single successful
minus,
person.
Like the nepotism.
Except for the nepotism babies who are put on. But people who really dreamed the dream and followed through with it, they would all say the same thing.
You're always going to have resistance. I mean, well, we're talking about Greek stuff. We're talking about Hermes. And there's this concept, and some people call it the diamond or the daemon. And we've talked about this on the podcast before. But there's going to be a lot of different philosophies on this. This is what I understand, to be clear. If there's any Hellenists listening and they're like, oh my God, like, no. But like, in all of these practices, there are different philosophies, period. You know, we're talking about ancient stuff. And this is applied to like, you know, Norse. You know, I'm sure there's different philosophies with Druidism. You know, that's why there's different teachers. Anyways, back to the diamond. So basically it's the idea that you have this spirit guide or this like entity that everybody has their personal one. We talked about this in our spirit guide episode. I think briefly, might have been extensive, I can't remember, but we were saying how that this spirit guide will help you act on your soul purpose and do things that are in alignment for you, essentially, this guide. However, it's going to usually be things that push you a little bit outside of your comfort zone, but it's the constant nagging. It's that constant, like, let's say you want to be a writer. Your sole purpose is to be a writer. You love to write. You know, you want to just sit down and go off into your head and apply that, but you feel like you can't. So the diamond is going to keep telling you can, telling you need to do it, telling you need to do it. And you're going to be met with resistance because that's a part of that like journey. So the diamond is prompting you to like not give up and to keep writing. A writer who does talk about his diamond, I believe, is Stephen King. There's a lot of creative people who talk about their diamond. And that's can be applied to a lot of things that are new, a lot of things that are calling to you. Because they're different from your normal operating patterns, it's going to be hard. And so that idea of things are new and different from your operating patterns being hard can be like mindset as well. That if you're used to being a certain way all the time, but you would like to be a different way, you're going to be met with a little bit of resistance because it's different from your natural operating state. So that's like what we're getting at. But you do what works for you. We're talking about what works for us. At the end of the day.
Yeah, and sitting in
sorrow is not it.
Sitting in sorrow is not it. Living in the past is not it.
And worrying
about the future is never it.
Never.
The only place of power is the present moment.
Yep.
And it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be sad, but this is not going to last forever. Mm-hmm. Unless you want it to.
Unless you want it to.
And that sounds horrible, but like honestly, like cycles continue to repeat until you learn the lesson. And sometimes the lesson is as simple as remembering who the fuck you are and remembering what your dreams are.
But it comes down to like you have to own your power, and you can't like as we people, like, you have to find strength and own your power and be able to fight through all of the stuff that is being like projected onto you, pushed onto you, all of the weird programming from whatever you do, however you were brought up, and do what's for your highest good with confidence and move that knowing that you can do it because you can. But we are at 23 minutes.
I think it's good. We got a little motivational talk.
Yeah, thanks Hermes for being the patron of this episode.
Yes, thank you, Hermes.
So we have Reiki at the end. All right, guys.